FC24 deep dive trailers. I'm going to be mentioning, bringing up a lot of the stuff that they brought up in the trailers, and also some things that have been leaked, and also give you some opinions on some of the things that will be coming to the next game, or things that I think will be coming to the next game. It's going to be mainly focused around the Ultimate Team aspect, because I think that's what most people care about. Honestly, I know that's what I care about mainly. But we are going to go over one of the deep dives they released, I believe it was 5 or 6 days ago at the time of recording this, which went over the Frostbite Engine. Now, if you want to completely skip this part, I've annotated everything below, so if you want to just skip all the way to the Ultimate Team side, feel free. But I'm going to go over this very, very quickly, because essentially the Frostbite Engine just makes the game look hyper realistic. I'm going to put some of the stuff they showed off in the trailer for sure, but I mean, the game looks beautiful. It looks absolutely, it looks real life, you know. Everything they're doing with the whole cloth system, which makes like the kits and, you know, everything that the players are wearing true to life, and make it, you know, feel actually attached to the player, from the feature lighting system that they're implementing into the game, which just makes it, I mean, the lighting looks fantastic. It makes the players pop a lot more. Just, I mean, the game just looks fantastic, and I expect nothing less from Frostbite. I mean, if you've played any other games using the Frostbite engine, they always look absolutely amazing. I know Battlefield has used Frostbite for ages, and their games have looked amazing for literally a decade at this point. I mean, if you even go back to Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, those games still hold up graphic wise, you know, and it's due in part to the Frostbite engine. I don't know what they're doing in those studios, but they're doing a dang good job. Yeah, the one thing I am concerned about, which I did mention in the last episode, so if you would like to watch that, I'll put a card in the top right to go over the first two deep dive trailers. But a concern I do have, just due in part to all the amazing graphics that they're implementing into the game, is the file size. I'm hoping that they don't end up releasing FC24 and ends up being like something crazy, like 200 gigabytes. That's a little exaggerated, but you know, I know there's a lot of people that you know, aren't playing on the next gen consoles, or do have a next gen console and still don't really have a ton of storage space. I know, for example, the Series X, the digital version, only has, I think, 500 gigabytes of storage space. I could be wrong, could be a terabyte, but I'm hoping they don't end up releasing this game and making it a huge file, because that would really suck. There's a lot of people I know, me included, that don't have external storages, external hard drives to, you know, help support other as many games as they want. So we'll have to see and wait, but yeah, I'm just hoping for that. Another thing they're introducing into FC24 is the whole match day, like realism kind of immersion thing that they're introducing, which includes these really cool visuals and cutscenes that they're introducing into the game, which I think if you're playing, this is mainly going to be really cool if you're playing something like career mode or any other single player modes where you're really looking for that immersive experience and just kind of want to sink into the game. I think it looks really cool. I think it's not going to matter as much when you're playing Ultimate Team or all that, but one thing that I think does make the game look a lot nicer is the match day menus. It makes the whole experience more immersive. And the menus just look cleaner. This is something they haven't updated in literal years for FIFA. I think they use the same menus that they have since like FIFA 15. So yeah, this is a huge thing. I think that's gonna make the game feel a lot a lot newer and a lot more to date. Um, Also, they have like overlays while you're in game to give you some like real time stats. So, for example, I'll show up here. They're showing the possession of the two teams while the ball's in for a throw in, and also who is tired, like showing players stamina while you're at a throw in or whatever it is. It's really really cool. This is something I'm pretty sure they introduced to one of their other EA titles, NHL, um, which it looks like they do introduce features to other EA titles before they go and introduce it into FC or FIFA or whatever you want to call it, to see how the community reacts to that feature. And if it's a positive reaction, they usually end up introducing it into FC. It happened with this whole overlay system. It happened with the play style system they've introduced into other games, which eventually found its way into FC. So yeah, I think it's looking really cool. They also have a new gameplay camera, which honestly I might use. It looks very nice. It's zoomed out, so you're able to see everybody, and I don't know. It looks nice. I might give it a shot. And another thing is the new ref cam, which I don't think they've done anything to the ref animations in a while as well. So this looks really really cool too. Um, now I'll be able to see what the ref is looking at when he gives me a freaking red card. And lastly, this is the last thing I'll go over involving graphics and everything in the game regarding that, is some new celebrations. They have, for example, like the Rashford celly, where he just points at his head, and they're not just for goals, which is what they showed in the trailer. Allison makes a big save here, and or actually, I can't remember if it's Allison or whoever it is, but a goalie makes a big save, and all the players go and rush him because it was a crucial part of the game. So that's cool. It's just adding to the whole immersion aspect of the game, and I think it looks great. I can't wait to see how the game looks in FC24. But enough about the the animations and the graphics and all that. We're gonna move into everything you need to know about Ultimate Team, and I'm gonna be going over some points I mentioned in the last episode, but it's very crucial that I want to include everything in this one episode. So if you're only looking for the Ultimate Team stuff, this is where it's gonna be. So once again, we have the evolutions stuff, the evolution cards that they're introducing to the game. I feel like they kind of play tested this with the whole level up promo that they did in FIFA 23, which seemed like a lot of the people in the community weren't a huge fan of this. So we'll have to see how this goes. But it is a pretty cool thing that they're introducing. Essentially, you start off the whole example here with Makoko is he starts off as a 75 rated silver or so, and you can complete objectives to actually improve him over time in your ultimate team. So for example, make 20 passes and he goes up 2 ratings, or get 5 goals and he'll have like a new play style on him, which I think is really really interesting. It's going to be cool to see how that works in game, and if it'll even be, maybe it'll be a little overpowered. I mean, people might have, some crazy cards so early on, but we'll have to see how it works. And also, they have women's football in Ultimate Team for the very, very first time. This is pretty cool. I mean, this is going to really open up the women's game to a lot of new people. I know, me included, I don't watch women's football, but maybe I'll have to keep up with it to see, who might get some informs, who might get included into some promos and stuff. I think this is really cool from EA to do. But one thing I noticed in the trailer, which I think might deter people from using women in their actual Ultimate Team, is the women leagues do not link up with the men's leagues. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you as an example here, so as you can see, Sam Kerr is part of the WSL, and so is the right mid on your screen there. And Reece James and the I think that's Van Dyke at center back are part of the Prem, and they all say English one. However, only the Prem players like Company there at center back, Reece James and Van Dyke, only give themselves chemistry. They do not count towards chemistry points for the WSL. Now, this could be an issue because this is an entirely different league, and um, I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of change, especially when it's FIFA. It's a game they've played for years, and so I think it's going to take some convincing to get people to really want to actually introduce a new league to their team, especially um, for the women's leagues where they aren't probably players that they're very familiar with. So we'll have to see how that goes. That being said, there are clubs that link to each other. So, for example, Sam Kerr and Reece James do get the club link because they are both part of Chelsea. So that's good. But yeah, like I said, the whole league thing could be an issue just because that's a whole another league you're gonna have to introduce into your squad. But another thing I will quickly just gloss over is the whole playstyles thing, and they will definitely be a part of Ultimate Team. You have players with, like, for example, Holland with his Power Shot Plus ability, who are going to be unique to those specific players. I think this is going to be really cool to have an Ultimate Team. You're going to really feel the difference with different players, and it's going to really make packing somebody that much better. Having that specific player's play style that you really want, or that specific player that uses that specific playstyle plus, it's going to be really, really cool to see how this works in game. Another thing that's confirmed is there's going to be some new heroes and some new icons. So I will quickly scroll through the list here. You can take a look if you want to pause to see who it is. But there's going to be 4 new men icons, 16 new men heroes. Those are just confirmed. There could be more, could be less, but those are confirmed new icons and new heroes. And there will be 1 new woman icon and 3 new women's heroes. So some honorable mentions that I'm very excited about. As you can see here, Carlos Tevez, Sergio Aguero should be coming as an icon, which is amazing. I mean, growing up watching that guy play, it's going to be cool to be able to actually play as him as an icon. Vincent Company, who will be a hero, and Frank Ribery is also going to be an icon. So, yeah, I think those are some pretty cool additions to the game. It's always nice to see more and more players being added, and yeah, I think it's going to be very, very cool. And very, very nice to see that. Like, look at these card designs; they're looking really awesome. So, yeah, I'm excited to see these new heroes and icons introduced into the game. And a quick thing about icon chemistry is they now apply league links to every single league once you have them in your team, including the women's leagues as well. So they're not just going to be doing the +2 country links that they add like they did before. They're now applying a league link to every single league that you have in your team, which is very nice. Icons are going to be a lot more important in FC24. Also, the new pack animations that they put in the trailer look awesome. I'm not like, maybe I'm alone in this, but I really like the new animations, and also, which looks crazy, is the 2-player walkout animation. This is crazy. Basically, if you have 2 walkouts in a pack, it'll bring out both of them and they'll do a little animation together and it'll show both cards. It looks amazing. This is something so cool. I mean, I don't know. This is something really, really, really something I'm really excited for because, especially a lot of the late game packs, you're gonna see a lot of the two-player walkouts, which yeah, it looks awesome. Something I will quickly go over. I did mention it in the last episode, but the new card design. As you can see, all the stats are at the bottom here, and the main focus is the actual player itself, which I think I know a lot of people, like I said, aren't a huge fan of change, but I really, really do like this card design. Um, I'm not a huge fan of how small the nation, league, and team are. It could be, I don't know. I feel like especially if you have like a large screen, um, it could be a little hard to see. Like you might have to actually go into the card and see what link they provide. I'm hoping maybe they improve on that in later games, but in general, I really enjoy the card design. I think this is going to make some really, really cool looking cards because, like I said, the main focus is on the player. We can go back quickly to the hero cards, but as you can see, I mean, look at this. Like the whole card is the player. It looks fantastic. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's just going to be cool. It's really going to make it the player the main focus of the card, which I think is what it should be. Another thing that they've included into Ultimate Team, which I can't believe it's taken them this long to do. I'm glad that they finally have done it, but I can't believe it's only we're in FC24 and this is the first time they're introducing this, but it's a claim all objectives button. You finally don't have to go into every little objective that you've completed and claim them one by one. You can finally just press the claim all button and be done with it. I'm so glad that is in the game finally. Like I said, I can't believe it's taken them this long, but finally we have that button. And also, they have a nice little quick switch feature, which is very nice. The menus in FIFA have always been so slow. Like, unlike any other game I've played, they've always been slow, and they've never, I don't know, EA's never been able to, or never even bothered trying to do anything about it. But this quick switch feature just allows you to not have to exit every little thing, and like for example, if you want to just go from the objectives to the transfer market, before you'd have to go into your objectives, claim whatever you wanted, then press B, press right bumper a couple times, then select transfer market wherever the heck that is, and then you can go into the transfer market. But now you can just quick switch from objectives. If you're in the objectives menu, go straight to the transfer market or wherever it is you want to go. Very, very nice. Finally, they're improving the menu speeds, which is something I've always been a little upset about. And position modifiers are no longer a thing in FIFA or FC24. Jeez, that's really going to take getting used to. Finally, no longer a thing. So drafts, SBCs, everything's going to be so much easier to get chemistry on, which is so nice. That was a huge thing, especially in the drafts mode, which I play quite frequently. In FIFA 23, that was so hard to do. I mean, if you had, for example, Hullet in your squad who has very many positions that he can be put in, he was locked in at center forward. So if you didn't have a formation with a center forward in it, you were kind of just screwed. You could not fit him into the team, even though he has all these different positions you can throw him in. But yeah, that won't be a thing anymore. Players just automatically go to the position they're assigned in, and yeah, that is something, very nice quality of life change that they've added. That's about it to do with everything that's new that they've introduced in the trailers. Now I want to kind of just go over what I think is going to be the top 10 players in the game, only for the men's, because I don't know enough about the women's game, so I'm only going to be doing the men's for this episode. But who knows? I might end up watching some more women's football because of FC24. So uh, yeah, that'll have to be thanks to them. But anyways, I think number one is going to be it's going to have to be Kylian Mbappe. I think he's the best player in the world right now, and I genuinely think he deserves a 92 here. It is confirmed that he is going to be 91, so we'll put it back to that. But I think he deserves the rating upgrade. This guy's insane. And I also put that he'll be at Real Madrid just because I think everyone knows that's where he's going to end up. But yeah, I think this guy is the best player in the world. He has everything you need in a striker. He has pace. He has the shot. He dribbles well with the ball. You know, he's not very easily muscled off of the ball either. He's the perfect striker right now, and I don't think there's anyone that can do it better than him right now. At number two, also at 91 rated, staying what he was in the last game, KDB. He led the Prem in assists. I mean, kind of hard not to when you have Haaland as your striker, but I mean, there's people doubting this guy still. Even I think it was mainly because of his poor form internationally, but this guy is absolutely still elite and still deserves to be 91 rated. This guy's insane. He's another guy that can kind of do it all as a midfield. His defensive game isn't amazing, but I mean he makes up for it in his offensive style. You know, his passing is absolutely world class. He can shoot the ball. He can dribble with it. This guy's amazing. I mean, you can't really question that. At number three, we have at 91 rated still Robert Lewandowski. This guy led the La Liga in goals with, I believe, 23. Yeah, he's a world class striker still. He lit up the La Liga for Barcelona, and having him at 91 rated still, I think, is very fair. Now, at number four, with a +2 rating from last game, going from 88 to 90, is Erling Haaland. I genuinely believe that he deserves 91 rated. It, however, is confirmed that he will be 90. But if it were up to me, this would be his rating. It's kind of robbery that he hasn't gotten into the 91 club, because I think he's just as good, if not better, than Lewandowski. This guy literally made the Premier League look like a freaking farm league. Like, you know, he broke records, for crying out loud. So if it were up to me, he'd be 91, but he's only 90. At number five, with a -1 rating, is Lionel Messi. There are some leaks about him and Cristiano Ronaldo's rating going down into the 80s, but I think he still deserves to be a 90 rated. I mean, he proved it in the World Cup. He was still, you know, top 5 in the world for goal contributions. I barely even think he deserves a -1 rating, but as he gets older, I think you kind of have to bring the rating down a little bit. That being said, I think he still deserves a 90 rated card. If they bring him down to 89 or 88, I think a lot of the community is going to be mad. But for me, I think at Inter Miami, he should be a 90 rated. At number 6, we have Thibaut Courtois. I mean, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world still. You know, he's a huge reason as to why Real Madrid is so good. I mean, Real Madrid have elite players, don't get me wrong, but Courtois stands on his head every single time he's out there for his club. He's the best goalkeeper in the world, and yeah, I think his rating shouldn't be touched either. With a -1 rating at number 7, I think will be Karim Benzema. Not sure why the image is off the card, but yeah, I think he will go down 1. He had a crazy year at Real Madrid. He didn't play the full season, obviously, but still scored at an insane pace. He would have led the league, I think, in goals if he played the full season, but yeah, I think he's going to go -1 only because of the move to Saudi. and because he's another guy that's getting older, you know. So I think with age, the ratings will start to lower and lower. But yeah, Benzema Al Ittihad, I think he'll be 90 rated. At number 8 with a +1, I have Harry Kane. I mean, another guy who's off the card for some reason, but um, yeah, I think he deserves a +1 rating after the season he's had, sorry, and continues to have. He definitely got overshadowed by Erling Haaland, who broke the Premier League record. The guy still had 30 goals in the Premier League. He had 30 goals. I think a lot of people don't realize how many goals he scored. Haaland had 36, for reference, by the way. I mean, he had an amazing season, Haaland. Also, I put him at Bayern because there's just transfer rumors for him moving to Bayern. I don't know if he'll actually go there, but we'll see. But yeah, absolutely, Harry Kane deserves a +1 rating. And if you disagree, you're wrong. Genuinely, he's so underrated. I feel so heavily underrated. He deserves a 90 rating. This guy's a world class striker, and honestly, I hope he leaves Spurs because this guy deserves some trophies, man. With his whole career, you know, as he's getting older, I think he really should consider a move to another club like Bayern, who, you know, has their Champions League presence, has, you know, they're always top of the league. Get a trophy, Kane, please. Go somewhere else. At number 9, with a -1, a 1 downgrade rating, is Mohamed Salah. I think we're going to see a lot of Liverpool downgrades this year, Salah included, just due to their horrific season. But that being said, I don't think Salah really was to blame due to their season. I think he was still high up in the standings. He was still 4th in goals in the Prem with, I believe it was 19. Still 4th in the Prem with goals. I don't think he's mainly to blame. However, I think EA is going to see the poor performance of Liverpool and downgrade a lot of the players, which I believe is going to include Salah. And at number 10, we have Neymar, who I have at Chelsea. I think it would be pretty cool to see him move there. And another guy who's not on the card fully. I think it'd be pretty sick to see him in the Prem. But yeah, I don't think they're going to touch his rating. I don't see why you would. He had still a pretty good season at PSG. Unfortunately, they weren't really able to do much in the Champions League. But yeah, I think he still deserves to be in the top 10. Still a great player. And if he moves to the Prem, that would be very nice. Some honorable mentions I have here are Cristiano Ronaldo. There's been a lot of leaks that he's going to go down to an 83 rated card, which I just don't see happening. If they do that, you know, that wouldn't sit right with me. That being said, I don't even think he should be 88. I think he should be 87. He was 90 rated in the previous game, in FIFA 23, but I think an 87 rated Cristiano Ronaldo is a fair card. You could make the argument for 88, but yeah, I think he deserves the downgrade, especially, you know, with his form internationally in the World Cup and everything. But he's doing well at Al Nassr, with a lot of goals there. But you got to remember, obviously, weaker competition he's going up against. So yeah, I think an 87 rated from 90 to 87 is fair. Another player I thought I should mention is Victor Osimhen. This guy had, I mean, what a season this guy had at Napoli. You know, he completely destroyed there and pretty much won them the league, with a crazy amount of goals. Him and Kvaratskhelia, I mean, just absolutely tore up for that club and won them their first league title in ages. So yeah, I think from an 83 rated card in FIFA 23, he should go up to an 87 after this season he had. Another person I think that will get upgraded severely is Vinicius. I think he's going to go from 86 to 88. He's proving to be a top talent in the world, absolutely, without a doubt. So, yeah, I think the 88 rated upgrade is deserved for Vinicius Jr., and I hope that EA does go through something like this. Another thing I mentioned earlier with the whole Liverpool downgrades is Virgil van Dijk, going from a 90 to, I believe, an 88. This is confirmed by EA themselves. Uh, he's going to be an 88 rated card, which I think this is one of his first downgrades ever. Um, and I think it's deserved, just due to the poor form at Liverpool. Everybody was doing bad, not just him. So yeah, another honorable mention here: Virgil van Dijk leaving the top 10 players list for quite a while. And one last honorable mention I thought I should add in here was Martin Odegaard, going from an 84 to I think an 87 is what I think he deserves. I mean, he's captain at Arsenal, had a very amazing year there, and yeah, I think I wouldn't be mad at an 86 rated card, but 87 I think is something I'd like to see for Odegaard. He's definitely one of the top talents in the Prem currently, as a midfielder, and yeah, I think this is something that would make a lot of sense. And one last honorable mention I thought of actually just on the spot is Kavicha Varachkilia. I mean, him and Osimhen had crazy years for the squad, going from a 74 rated card. He was a silver, a 74 rated card with two, I believe, an 85. I think he could even be an 84. I think he deserves an 85 after the season he had with Osimhen, but yeah, Vicha Varashkilia definitely deserves a massive, massive upgrade. But yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed and liked, me breaking down everything here, definitely check out the last episode of me breaking down a lot of the new stuff coming into FC24. I go over a lot of the new features and stuff they're adding into the game, so yeah, definitely check that out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and peace.